Welcome back to Brick by Brick. Today we're going to be going through the 5 worst performing LEGO investments in my $6,000 LEGO investing collection. Now, the vast majority of my sets have done pretty well and have been a way for me to make some extra money as a little side hustle, but every once in a while there's an investment you don't pick that doesn't end up doing as well as you had hoped, and that is often the case with LEGO. Sometimes there are sets that don't do as well as you had hoped. Generally, they're smaller sets, so it doesn't matter too much. Most larger sets end up doing pretty well just because they're generally geared towards more adult fans of LEGO that are willing to pay a premium. But all the sets I have today, one of them is medium-sized-ish, but they're all relatively small. And thankfully, I didn't put too much money into any of these, which is good. Or one of them I did, and that's a little unfortunate, but that one has done all right. Hasn't been the worst performing of the 5. But for now, we're going to start out with the worst performing set in my collection. So this right here is just a small little London bus set. It's a LEGO Creator set. Set number is 40220. It's got 118 pieces. It's got some cool little pieces on it. You have like a little movie advertisement for the brick separator as a movie. And then you have the now's the time to visit with the Union Jack flag there. So pretty cool little addition to the set. I ended up picking this set because I was just a few dollars short of getting a free gift with purchase, and the gift with purchase was worth more than $10. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but I decided to get this set. It was the smallest I could find. I thought it might do well. It was kind of just a spur of the moment. I decided to buy this set. I thought that it could do well as a LEGO investment, but I turned out to be wrong. It's actually gotten down in value by, I think, like $2 or so, or something like that. So I'll probably end up selling it, but it's been a little fun one to have in my collection. I may end up just building it just because it hasn't done very well as an investment, but I do wish that this set had done better, but you win some, you lose some. Then we will get up to a LEGO Star Wars set. So this right here is the LEGO Death Star Cannon set. Let me pull up the data on this one. So this set, I bought about 8 of them. This is the one I mentioned earlier that I bought quite a few of. I bought 8 of these for a total of about $132. So I was able to get them all on sale, thankfully, which is a great addition, but it still didn't do as well as I'd hoped, and they are now collectively worth about $160. This is according to Brick Economy, which isn't always a perfect source, but a pretty decent indicator. And so this set has done okay, but hasn't done as well as I'd hoped. It's just got too many figures in it. And I thought that just because it was many of the other Death Star sets and like rooms of the Death Star and stuff ended up doing pretty well as LEGO investments. Plus it was a LEGO Star Wars set, and those generally do pretty well, but this one turned out it still went up in value, but not as much as I'd hoped. I think there's only one other set we'll be going through today that actually went down in value. But this set actually ended up going up, not by a huge margin. It's not growing at a very consistent pace, but it's been a decent addition to my LEGO investing collection. We'll have to see what happens to it in the long run, although I may not wait that long on it either. I'll probably end up selling it in the not too distant future. But now I've been able to learn some important lessons by investing in sets that have not turned out to end up doing as well as I'd hoped. That being that I generally have a rule of thumb where I try to stick to LEGO investing Star Wars sets that are from sets that are depicting scenes or builds or movies from the original 3 Star Wars movies. Those generally seem to be pretty safe, reliable investments, and I kept true to that theme here with the LEGO Death Star Cannon, although sometimes these rules don't always work out. Generally, they've guided me pretty well and have helped me make some pretty decent LEGO investments, but it doesn't always turn out to be the case, and unfortunately, this set didn't do as well as I'd hoped. It still went up in value, like I mentioned earlier, but definitely not as much as I'd hoped. All right, then we'll get to the other set. This one has actually, let's double check, but I think it has gone up in value by a decent margin. So I was able to get 2 of these for a total of $108 altogether, and this set they are now collectively worth about $120. So I've gotten a fairly decent return on investment. It is not growing at a very fast rate, so the ROI isn't, mainly because LEGO made a brand new version of this set very shortly after this one was retired, and that is always running a risk with LEGO sets investing. You never know what LEGO is going to make next. They may end up making a set that's an exact copy of the one that you were investing in which people they're not going to want to pay the premium for the retired set, so they're just going to get the new one, plus the new one they'll probably be able to get on sale. And that was kind of the case with this set. There was a new Hagrid's hut. There were a couple things different about it, but the main build was very similar and depicted Hagrid's hut there, the main little build, and it might have had a few, I think it had fewer minifigures, but that was kind of the only real difference there. I think it was also around the same price point, so that was a little unfortunate that LEGO released a LEGO Hagrid's Hut set very recently after I had purchased the older version, but thankfully I only bought 2 of them. It wasn't a huge amount of money, but I do wish that that set had ended up doing better. Then next up, we will get to the Trouble on Tatooine. So this is a LEGO Star Wars set. It's a LEGO Mandalorian set, to be specific. It comes with the Baby Yoda figure, as well as the Mandalorian and the Tusken Raider. It's got 276 pieces. This set has not done super well. It's gone down in value by like $1 or $2, so it is one of 3 sets in my LEGO investing collection that have actually gone down, which is unfortunate, but that's still pretty good odds for an investment in general to only have 3 of, I think I have about 120 LEGO sets, so for 3 of 120 to have gone down in value, that's better than if I was investing in like penny stocks or normal stocks. So generally they don't go down in value, but this set, that had been the case. I also didn't put very much money into this one. I only bought 1 of them. I was just kind of curious how the LEGO Mandalorian sets would do. This was when the Mandalorian TV show was a little more popular, and I was hoping that the popularity of the show would help to increase the value of the set, but that didn't end up being the case. It is still roughly worth about what I paid for it, maybe a few dollars less, but within the same ballpark. But I wish that this set had done better. It was also a LEGO Star Wars set, so I thought that that would help it do better, but the popularity of the show has kind of died off, and generally the the Star Wars films and TV shows kind of seem to not be doing great these last couple years, so that has probably played a role in impacting the price of these newer, or new-ish, there's a retired set, but recently retired LEGO Star Wars sets, but it is unfortunate the set hasn't done super well. It's also got some cool little playability factors. You have the little crossbow there that can shoot a spring-loaded little bullet thing there, but unfortunately this hasn't been a great LEGO investment, but like I mentioned earlier, I didn't really put too much money into it, so it worked out. And then next up, I'm not going to be able to put this one up, but this is probably the biggest set that has actually gone down in value, and for a similar reason to the LEGO Hagrid's Hut set. So this one is the Hogwarts Express. It's got 801 pieces. It's got 6 minifigures. Then they're a pretty good collection of minifigures, but I've heard that the build for the main train here of the Hogwarts Express was not able to fit on a standard track. I could be wrong, but I seem to remember hearing that, and that was part of the reason. I did not know that was going to be a factor, but apparently that was. And I believe there was also a newer version of the LEGO Hogwarts Express. They have the giant, I think it's like an $800 collector's edition as a separate version. But this set I thought it would do well. The previous LEGO Hogwarts Express ended up doing pretty great as a LEGO investment, and the ones prior, there may have only been one prior, but in general, the previous ones have ended up doing pretty well, so I thought that that trend would continue with this one, but unfortunately that hasn't been the case. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions about any of the sets we went over today, and just like I mentioned earlier, the vast majority of my sets have done pretty well, but it is important to go over the sets and the investments that you may have not done as well as you'd hoped on to make sure that you learn lessons from them and are able to apply that knowledge into your future investments. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.